Your Majesty, Your Highness, Excellencies, Graces, and noble fathers, I am proud to announce she who will announce the robe you're looking for. I speak of none other than Lady Abigail Greywolf, wife, companion of Post Silvertop.
Herald their court. Please herald our court When my new friend, Lord Poe, presented himself to me as my guard, sometimes as a court jester, and sometimes as a Shakespearean actor, he always found a way to make me smile. We would see each other in the royalty room, and he would remind me so much of leadership is how you set the tone if you encounter a difficult situation. You lunge, bend the sword, bow to the audience, call back the shot if you don't think it's good. He taught me by example that one can be both excellent at a thing and courteous. Kindness is a strength, and true strength is being able to take a pie in the face for your bingo.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming all along.
He didn't do it,
But if he'd done it, how could you tell us that we were wrong? He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming all along. He didn't do it. But if he'd done it, how could you tell us that we were wrong?
I've known Poe Silvertop longer than I can possibly say. He's really a service-oriented guy. A marshal, a wordsmith. He was always out there working on things. He got into teaching, heralding, running tournaments, and on the way he taught Fabrice, Gigante, wordsmithing, and shit. Guess you could say that he's here today because some people notice all the things he did. He says he's some guy in a hat, but we see him as a leader and a peer.
The dirty bum, 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 bum. The dirty bum, 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 bum. He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming all along. He didn't do it, but if he'd done it, how could you tell us that we were wrong? He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have heard it, I bet you would have done the same.
You had one more line.
Spencer, my ass.
endless time.
Or Mickey here.
Smile and bow to the audience.
Some guy in a hat.
I bet you would have done the
Parentheses, I had nothing to do with that. Parentheses, I didn't have enough time for legal
What's your name?
5 years ago, you asked me the same question. If it is your name, let's do this.
Yeah, I'm giving it your go.
Although I was thinking like that.
Like you from some people? Yeah. Maybe in a non-song format? Yeah.
You mean there's more?
Our musical part. Are there words from A Lady of the Rose?
Your Majesties, considering what we've just done, I'll make it brief. There was one word that I took out of my portion of the song, and that was one thing that Poe always does. He finds a way to make people comfortable. He makes people happy, gives them joy, and he inspires them. If you question the inspiration, I refer you back to that theme, the star. You inspire people to step out of their comfort zone. Right, so
there words from a member of the Order of the Laurel?
There are. Hey, Rosie. I'm a little nervous. Master Poe asked me to speak for him, and I thought, I'm a Laurel type, fencer type. And so is he. And here I am to speak about his worth as a Pelican. But he's a clever man. I think he's more clever than we think he is. Although I'm not sure he's quite as clever as he thinks he is. I bet he did, because he's clever like that. And I thought, well, maybe we have a long history, and sometimes I feel I can see right through him, and that should terrify him. But when has Poe being afraid of anything stopped him from doing the thing, right? So I thought about, to me, I respect all pelicans, but there are some I admire more than most. And the quality that they have is humility. And Poe has that. Okay, he blusters. Sometimes he'll tell you a lot, and there's a lot of words. And maybe that's why we're friends, because I don't think I have that many words. But he is humble. And I will tell you one example. You all know, he runs the novice tourney at Pelican every year, right? Really well-attended tourney. It's amazing that he does that. But what impresses me is that he makes sure every single novice has a prize. That's like 100 prizes. And to get that, he spends weeks asking people to donate prizes. Sometimes more than that. But I'm aware of that last push, which is hard. Put yourself in those shoes and think, does that not make you quake in your boots? And if it doesn't, then you're not thinking about it hard enough. That is the best example of humility I can think of. And Your Majesties, I feel it is a right and just thing that you do to induct him into your Order of the Pelican.
Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry to speak?
Your Majesty. Don Malcolm. And as my cousin Elena mentioned, having had words to say earlier, I will keep this rather brief. I did meet Poe 20 years ago, almost exactly, and we did hit it off. They did almost come to blows. The beautiful thing about that, and a very knightly thing, is to have courage. And have courage to speak truth to a crown. As Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, our cousins are well aware. And Poe had the courage, skill, believe it or not, to do so well. And to speak truth and inspire. Yeah. So, Your Majesties, please, as a member of the Orders of Chivalry, having well inspired and seen knightly behavior from this service-oriented gentleman, I am very delighted to see today come.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense who will speak on behalf of this guy?
Your Majesties, I have an issue. This man was sacked, yet he continues to herald, taking the words from my mouth. So I will introduce myself. Brian Lord, 20th Master Defense of the Kingdom of Valor. Poe is a leader. Poe is a person who makes space for others to do what they need to do. As a mod, and he will continue this as a Pelican. Your Majesties, thank you for doing this. Thank you. Are there words from a jewel of Athelmark?
Greetings and salutations. I am Baroness Antoinette Hillary, and I bring forward the words of my poet. I am Timothy of Arundel, visited 50th Jewel of Ethelbert, and Poe has honored me with asking me to speak on his behalf of his worthiness to become a Pelican of our society. It is, in my opinion, the job of a jewel to inspire, and Master Poe excels at that. Every year at Pelican, he runs the novice ranger tournaments, securing volunteers, gathering donations of prizes, scheduling and promoting the events. Innumerable are the times I have overheard fencers gushing about how much fun they had at that tournament, how it made their events. I met Master Poe shortly after I moved to Ethelmark. I moved into an area with minimal heavy combat activity. To a great extent, I blame Master Poe. The reindeer community in the area was strong, energetic, and growing. His enthusiasm for fencing was palpable. If I had been new to the society rather than just the area, I suspect I would be a fencer rather than someone who occasionally takes up rapiers. Skill therapy is a fixture in our kingdom, and Master Poe is its foundation. Your Majesties, this is a good thing that you do this day, and you have my wholehearted support.
Are there words from a member of the Order of the Pelican?
There is.
Your Majesties, collective highnesses, and all assembled here today. I am Maester Anomaly Reinhardt, Pelican by your home. What is there to say about Poe that has not already been said? I'm not sure, especially since some of my words will sound a little repetitive at this point. But he and I met about a decade ago, and now rarely a day passes where we do not talk about work or life, share puns or memes. We have shared so many stories over the years, and probably to no one's surprise here, some of those themes overlap, including the love of doing service. Although Poe is usually seen as a shenanigator, yeah, I know. He has been seen many times picking things up, putting things down, picking things up again, over and over and over. He's also been seen running courts as the voice of the hills or as Jewel Herald, teaching the art of rapier to anyone who desires to learn, marshaling the lists along with those who wish to MIT, and wordsmithing scrolls. And for the sheer amount of scrolls, he better be paying off his muse with some good mead. He's been growing the novice tourney at Pensick into what it's become today. A place where 80 to 120 generals from all over the world meet on that rapier field. Each person leaves with a prize, which are gathered yearly by his efforts. And it doesn't stop at the fencers. This tourney is also a learning opportunity for MITs and future MOLs to start on their journey or hone in on needed skills to continue our martial programs and making our society better and stronger. These examples are all well and good in their own right and affect many people. However, he's also one of my besties. He'll gladly proofread my scrolls, lend an ear when life is seemingly falling apart, teach how to make yummy beverages, be a confidant, and so much more. I am fortunate to have someone like Poe as such a good dear friend. As said by the 13th Doctor, lives change worlds. Whether it is silent and behind-the-scenes service or loud with an occasional piece of shtick, Poe's long-time, steady service is seen and heard. And of course, he encourages others to serve as well, And like a gateway drug, they often too get addicted to helping others. And this cycle continues on and on and on, helping our dreams thrive. In closing, I'd like to use the immortal words of Mr. Skelda. Service is love made visible. Poe loves the SCA, and the SCA loves Poe right back. Your Majesties, this is a most spectacular thing that you do this day. Thank you for the consideration in making this interesting person. No, rather, giving this person the bird. You too, friends, continue to be my peers.
I was also asked to, but after all these words, what could I possibly say to improve on anything? This is all that I will say. My brother. Many years ago, I saw you as a fencer, and you tried to get me to fence. It didn't really take. I went the heavyweight. I said, maybe you should become a herald. And you did. You heralded for your barony and for the kingdom. All this time, I have watched you in silent service. The people do not see. The pond, the Pelican that you take care of, all the service you've done for your barony behind the scenes, and all of the many, many, many favors that you've done for me. This is what I would say for you, Your Majesty. I have seen this man do service for 20 plus years. If this man is not a Pelican, then neither am I. Strip my award and take it from him if you do not deem him worthy. These are my words to you, and I hope you deem them true.
Their Majesties to be attended by the Order of the Pelican. Is there an updated cloak?
From behind. I don't know who made it. The update is the class. Pelican class. May 5. You're gonna make me mad. I'm old.
Is there a fez of maintenance? Is the ancestral medallion about marked right? Is there a lone pelican medallion? bind you down. Is there a box behind you? There's a box behind you.
After this.
I take the place that was prepared for me by the crown. I vow to serve this crown, this kingdom, and this society with rapier arm and rapier wit, with pen and voice in every word at my command. I will be defend, strive, and herald anything else necessary. And for the will of men, will I die. So say I. To the top of the mountain.
The scroll is a work in progress, but we have ghost words from the future. This is a scroll that never ends. It goes on like that. Some heralds started reading it forever just because this is the scroll that never ends. This is the scroll that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Some heralds started reading it, not knowing what it was, because this is the scroll that never ends. And like this scroll, the service of Post Overtop never ends. Once the fencing is over, he lets the sword down and picks up the martial staff. To switch over to the other fencer once he lays down his martial staff, he picks up the herald's staff and speaks for quarters. A crown, the long striding Stradivarian dead. A crown. Do this. This is really fun. This is really not really The serving long is the voice of endless hills and his jeweled herald. Athelmark has heard his words ring out twice. All of the others surround thrones and read out the scrolls. Once court is finished, the thrones thirst to be packed away. And then after the court, Poe sits down and creates such words that sets fire the extravagance of those who might hear them. At practice, you see them. Caleb?
Yeah.
So I blame Caleb.
As long as it's not my fault, I have to be fine.
This is the scroll that never ends. At practice, you see him teaching all the wish to learn the finer arts of swordplay. At Penzing, a generation of novice fencers have dueled one another under his watch. The measure of a Pelican is not service in and of itself. Poe is inducted into no rhyme in service to Avalon. The true measure of a Pelican is not the service done, it is the inspiration the Pelican gives to others. Let us measure how many marshals Poe has trained. Let us measure the wordsmiths who picked up a pen after hearing Poe's words. Let us measure the number of heralds he encouraged, who also donned the tabard and speak for coronet and crown. Let us measure the mark Poe's overtop left on Sylvan Avalon. And in our grateful minds, with the noble order of the Pelican to make him feel welcome. For we will, on this 10th day of February, you induct the aforementioned post-overtalk into the aforesaid noble order of the Pelican. Thus, on the day of the Lupercalia, at our hunting lodge, in our barony of Delftwood, we sign this warrant, granting all rights and privileges to Poe as a member of the Pelican, proclaiming that there shall be no vaccines. That never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. Some heralds started reading it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue reading it forever just because this is the scroll that never ends. The scroll is a work in progress.
This is not what we had planned!
No scroll to work of the meaning like father. With signatures. By vision. For Master Poe, newest member of the Order of the Pelican.